Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, we're at the end of the year, and so the awards will start coming out, right? So one of the most important awards in the world of boxing would be Fighter of the Year. And, we have three major contestants, right? That would probably be Naomi Inoue, Devin Haney, you have to keep in mind, and of course Terence Crawford. Now Carl Froch, British super middleweight champion, exciting fighter, and now pundit, who you got to keep your eye on because he says a lot of things that people don't want to hear, but he don't give a damn. He says them, right? And most of the time his opinions is right. You got to check him out now. You know what I mean? And Carl Froch's opinion, this is Terence Crawford, right? And I got to agree with him. The other one, like with Devin Haney, he has to be in the top three. I would go with Devin Haney because the fact of beating Lomachenko, even though it was a close fight, you got to look at the things around the fight. Like, for example, Devin Haney was having real big problems making weight. And a lot of times other fighters will get the excuse of trying to make weight or saying, he was drained and stuff like that. That excuse, they didn't give to Devin Haney. And when you're beating Lomachenko, even in a close fight, means you beat one of the all-time greats, because that's what the people are saying. I think Lomachenko is an extremely good fighter, all-time great, whatever. In the amateurs, yeah, but in the pros, it's pretty good, right? But we can't say that he's an all-time great, and then if someone beats him, then he's not anymore. So to beat Lomachenko at a weight where you were really, really, barely making that weight is a good performance. Then then you're undisputed as well. So you were, but the undisputed happened the year before, but that don't matter. Then to go up in weight and fight one of the most dangerous guys and beat him by a whitewash is something to behold. So, he's up there. I would put him at 3. At number 2, I would have Naomi Inoue because he's undisputed in 2 weight divisions, right? He stopped Stephen Fulton, who we all thought should have been a top 10 pound for pound guy. He wasn't though, but he, most of us were saying, and he should have been. Then you also have the fact that he beat this guy Topolis right now. I don't really know much about that guy. I didn't even know Inoue was in another undisputed fight. The reason why Inoue has an argument against Terence Crawford because he was in 2 type of fights for undisputed. He's also a 2-division undisputed champion. The difference is his opposition weren't as good. And here's what I always say. In those lower weight divisions, it's too many weight divisions right around the corner from each other. You 118 and then 122, really? That's 4 pounds. You got 115 is a division, 118 is a division, and 122 is a division. Right? So it's not like you're going so far. Right? So therefore, and another thing, in those real lower divisions, there's not so much competition going on. Because you got to find really little people, and then really little people who are interested in boxing. It's not as many as once you get up a little bit higher in those weight divisions. So that's why I really start counting weight divisions really at lightweight, to be honest. But, little people, there's just not as many of them as so super talented. But be that as it may, Inoue is definitely, you would have an argument for him to be Fighter of the Year. Because Terence Crawford, who is the Fighter of the Year in the most prominent fight, the most anticipated fight, and his opponent has been all the way up to number 2 pound for pound. I didn't have him there. I have him top 5 pound for pound, like 4, because people like Alexander Usyk is in front, and on my pound for pound list at the whole time was Demetrius Andrade, because I ain't taking him off because he got avoided by everybody. They're supposed to be so damn good, like Canelo, Jaime Munguia, and Gennady Golovkin. That's just me. But people that ain't like me would have Inoue in the pound for pound and had Alexander Usyk in pound for pound. Some even had Tyson Fury, but whatever. But you have a lot of people up there. But Spence was in everybody's top 5 pound for pound. Some people even had him number 2. And to go in there to dominate Errol Spence, make it like it's a different class of fighter, that's something to behold. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at Terence Crawford, definitely my number 1 pound for pound and the Fighter of the Year. But there should be arguments. There's, if you're arguing for Inoue, you do have an argument. But the fact that he beat an Errol Spence who we never seen in any kind of posture of even thinking about losing. Errol Spence is the David Benavidez of the welterweight division. I'm bigger than everybody, and I'm walking them down until they finished, right? Ground and pound, basically, right? And to see him in a different posture because he's dealing with Terence Crawford was something to behold. So therefore, fight of the year, in my opinion, is Terence Crawford, but it is close. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.